The world of Subnautica. I still remember playing this for the first time and beating it. It's one of those games that you could just never get the same experience as your first time playing it. And then we have the sequel to it, Subnautica Below Zero, released actually a while ago in 2019, and it doesn't even seem that long ago. Well, I have gathered you here because we have more news on Subnautica 3, or at least that's what I'm going to call it for now because it has no official name to it yet. Today I'll take a deeper dive into the sequel, or at least some time in the universe of Below Zero or Subnautica, talk about elements we wish to see in the game, everything that we know so far, and what the community would want to have, such as storytelling and progression of the game. So the first confirmation that we have of Subnautica 3 is a new job alert that was posted all the way back in 2022 titled New Job Alert for the next game in the Subnautica universe, confirming that there will be a sequel or some type of sequel. Now if we take a look on how long Subnautica and Below Zero were in development for, we can see that the game should be releasing around 2025. Now, this is just an estimate because Unknown Worlds, the people behind Subnautica and a variety of other games, said that in between 2024 and 2026, there would be a total of 36 games released. This including the next Subnautica game, probably. Considering that the development time of Subnautica being from 2014 to its full release in 2018, a 4-year span compared to Below Zero's with a 3-year working period from early access to its full release of early 2019 to late 2021. With this, we can determine that on average, Subnautica games take about 4 years to release in between each one. Of course, Below Zero came out in 2021, and in 4 years, that would be 2025. I'd see the game at latest be released in 2026 if they had technical issues or issues with the game, or if the game is just bigger in general. I'd also see Subnautica 3 only being for new-gen consoles and PCs because I feel like it could be unstable for PS4 and Xbox One users, and by then most people should have had an upgrade. Now this is all the official news that I have gathered, but we do have a lot more to talk about, such as multiplayer and how the story will be told in this game, as well as leviathans and fauna of the game. As we all know, multiplayer has been one of the most requested features in previous games. The reason it will never officially release in those games is due to progression, most likely. Yes, there is mods that you can play with friends, but that's besides the point. It wouldn't be as an enjoyable game to play for the first time with friends because the whole purpose of the game was that feeling of you not being alone in those really deep down areas. With a friend you could be less scared, one person could distract a mega leviathan and bypass it way easier. The game was never intended in being multiplayer, same with Below Zero. We also saw how underwater in Below Zero that in some areas would get tight, so with multiplayer with two sea trucks it would be almost impossible to navigate, but we saw that both games are way different in terms of how big the map is. I feel like Subnautica 3 they could implement such a things, but they have to give it the right balance. Now we never got confirmation on multiplayer, but it was the most requested feature, so they should look into this, I'm pretty sure, right? Subnautica was by far one of my favorite games at the time. The storytelling was perfect for me, and it was not narrated by a 100% linear storyline, but more if you had to go explore and find the lore for yourself, such as finding those sunken pods, alien life form, different creatures that give you a variety of information, and the huge ship that crashed down into the planet has a lot of useful information. In theory, you could progress on your own time, and you didn't really know 100% what was your next move. In Below Zero, you followed the story of your character, and you knew a lot more of what was going on and more character dialogue, and this is why both games are separated in the community. Don't get me wrong, both of these games I really love though. In the sequel, I hope they find a middle ground of both of these, or even something new that the community will love. Will it be more driven around a storytelling, or will you have to go find that information for yourself? What would you guys think would be the best way to go at this? Graphic-wise, in both games, they had really good visuals. Below Zero, yes, had more going on, and I really like that. I would get lost in my own world exploring what the game had to offer, and hope to see this type of visuals in the next game. With Unreal Engine 5 coming out, we have Nanite and Lumen. This is for more realistic reflections, lighting, and much more, so imagine what they can do with that. A couple more things that I can observe is the fact that we have different vehicles, specifically 3 in each game. In Subnautica we had a Seamoth, prawn suit, and the Cyclops submarine thing. In Below Zero we had the little scooter thing that went on land, a sea truck, and again the prawn suit. In Below Zero we had more land to explore. This was kinda cool, yes, but Subnautica is an underwater game. I hope they can also find a good equal ground between both of these and maybe have a bigger world to explore with different types of fauna. In Below Zero, we saw a lot of ice, and I mean a lot of it. That was the only thing that was going on for that game. In Subnautica, we saw a lot of different types of biomes. I wish to see more than just one biome in Subnautica 3, though. As I said before, we only see 3 vehicles in both games, so we'll probably see upwards of 3 or more vehicles in Subnautica 3. We also saw different Leviathans in the game. I kind of hope to see one that is maybe freed by making a decision in-game. Like in Below Zero, we had that one that was like kind of frozen in ice. Maybe we could like accidentally melt it or something, you know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, both games had really good Leviathans. In my opinion, I was scared whenever one of them was chasing after me, as probably a lot of other people. So now begs the question of what you guys would want to see in the game. Leave a comment down below, I'd love to hear your guys' answers, and with that, that's all the info I have on Subnautica 3. I hope you enjoyed the video and leave a like and sub if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next video.